Bill Belichick's 6 championships, too many other divisional things to count, all of these other wonderful things that he's done over the years, gets shunned by the Hall of Fame. If this man is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then there should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer for any coach. He's second in wins behind Shula, most championships, most. Now, people want to talk about, oh man, Deflategate, the video cheating scandal. Let me tell you something. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying. Every team does it. Somebody just became a hater and got him caught.
So is that the reasoning that they give?
That's the
for
reasoning
why he's
that
not going
well,
in?
along with the fact that he absolutely sucked to reporters as an interview. On every sport, how do you have guys that never played the game at this level voting on who's the best? Because now what you're telling players and coaches is that your job after the game is to kiss the interviewer's ass.
Do you think Bill Belichick cares at all?
Oh, he cares. Oh, that hurt it.
Podcast Twins, Vince. We are back in the Twin Cave. How you feeling today,
Hey, man,
brother?
Feels like home, baby. Feels like home, man. Feels good, though. How about you, buddy?
Nah, man, I feel great. You know, we don't have the episode out yet, but next week we'll probably see the Ariana Fontenot Doctor Physical Therapy, Pain Proof and Pain Proof for the Kids books.
We got a lot going on.
I'm feeling good, man. You sleeping better? What's up?
Well, that's a whole different animal, bro. But I am sleep. Let me tell these people what to do first.
Tell these people what to do.
So before we get into that, I want to go ahead and just thank everybody for being there, all of our current subscribers and all of our future subscribers, because you guys are on the way right now. So we want to thank you guys in advance for helping the show grow, because we are growing, bringing you hot content every week. This is what we do right here from the cave and sometimes on location. So, hey, appreciate y'all. Make sure you hit subscribe, share on all platforms so we can grow. So, am I sleeping better? Man, listen, yes, because I'm sleeping more consciously. So that's the deal. I'm sleeping more consciously. When you see the episode, it'll talk. I'm a stomach sleep. I do make a conscious effort to start out at least on my side. I have noticed some things, but at the same time, along with me and my mouth tape, I sleep more sound. But when I don't put the mouth tape on, I notice I don't breathe as well.
All right, so we got a fast forward preview. Now about going back, what about your carnivore challenge? How's that going?
Oh man, carnivore challenge. So that's the beautiful part about what we got going on, because by the time you guys will see this, we'll be into February, but we are coming at the end of January, and my challenge has been awesome. Ultimately, I did the body pod scan thing. Thus far, I am up 5.5 pounds of muscle, down 2.5 pounds of fat.
All right.
Down only like 4 or 5 pounds on the scale. The transition is absolutely noticeable from people around. So this journey is different for everybody. Well, now, for us who've done it before, your results will be different. But for like my guy who just did it for the first time, he had those shocking results. We were at a meeting yesterday and he came walking down the sidewalk. I literally had to take a double take because I was like, I couldn't believe that was him. The first time I seen him since we started.
We are going to talk football this episode.
It's coming.
But before we do, I got to tell you one thing. Like, I met these guys that own this company called Tuber, and they make these cigar and nicotine pouch holder things. Still want to smoke your cigars. This place, Tuber. And I found these humidors, these little travel humidors. I thought it'd be perfect for the golf bag. We're at a golf show, of course.
Absolutely.
I just was like, I bet Vince would think this is cool.
But we have had an amazing last half of this month of December into the month of January in the world of sports. Disclaimer that my absolute twin brother does not give a damn.
You gotta steal my thunder, man?
Nah, because you're gonna say it, but
some of it I cared about.
But it's gonna sound so much sexier when you say it.
But some of it I cared about.
So, but that's what I said. We already know that's the disclaimer. But the ones that he is gonna care about is what we're gonna talk about first, which is the national championship, college national championship. Listen, that was great. It was an amazing thing, and we both had different ties to the game in different capacities. As you see, I have my combo hat here, but we're gonna slide it to this side right now for this particular conversation. So the Hurricanes versus Indiana University.
Home game for the Hurricanes.
Home game for the Hurricanes. And although the NCAA did everything in their power to not give the hometown effect by charging $700-800 for parking, anything that would just discourage a local from
A
trying to
regular
go.
human being
Yeah,
that can afford a
right.
ticket.
And
Yes,
so
right.
it was only the so IU wound up flooding the stands because again they didn't have to worry about parking. More than likely they was going to come in by shuttle. So it didn't affect them. So anyway, it was an overwhelming IU crowd, and team for team, man, it was going back and forth. I mean, the defense was strong, everything was solid. Although I said many months ago,
Here we go.
Beck is who I said he was. If the game had to come down to putting the ball in Beck's hand to win it, we're not going to win it. And that's just the case, man. The rest of the game was amazing. The run game, even the offense, everybody played phenomenal until it was time to come down to it. But, and I say this about it because, I got some people like, oh, Beck, listen, man, we got lucky as the Kings. The game should have been blown away because he had, I think I counted 4 or 5 tip passes that was due to his bad placement of the ball, where the ball just was floating in the air and found grass. Either one of those balls get picked, the game changes hands immediately. So, but in spite of that, the defense held it together and the run game held it together. So it turned out to be one of the few interesting games that we've had in years.
99.999% I'd have been with you rooting for the Canes.
Yeah.
But since I went to IU, of course, I was rooting for my school.
I get it.
And I was going to be happy no matter what,
Right.
obviously, though. I mean, like, I've been rooting for the Hurricanes since I was a baby. My parents met there. I joke that I exist because
of the U.
But, yeah, it was cool. I mean, I got texts from everybody I went to college with, it seemed like. And
it was crazy.
It's a cool thing to unite. Like, I rag on sports and I say it's a waste of time a lot of times, but it is cool to unite around it and build friendships and do all the other things that sports allows you to do. So I don't hate it completely and not care about anything.
Okay. Well, so my IU thing is, of course, Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated was
where it
born
started, yes.
as we had our brother Ryan Clark, who came onto the ESPN platform rocking his letters out there, and he actually went with IU based on such fact, along with the fact that they had several grown men that had probably grandchildren that they was playing already out there because the way the portal situation is set up now, these
average
guys
age 23, I think, right?
I think it was
25. Or was it 25?
Average age 25. These guys literally left the game, had to go pick up their grandkids, from the babysitter.
I don't know too many 25-year-olds with grandkids.
My point,
but okay,
exactly.
fair enough.
But hey, listen, they took advantage of the rules and worked it to their benefit. I just was like, poor Malachi Tony, who just turned 18, is out here playing against his great uncles, on the other side of the ball over there. But he held his own.
You sound a little salty.
No,
just like a tiny bit salty.
Hey, listen, man, listen.
There's just a little salt.
If you make the rules fit you can take the rules and shape it any way you want.
You know the reason why Indiana is good at football now, right?
Because of the damn portal and all their great grandfathers that they got playing.
Well, that's part of it, but also because Mark Cuban has an unlimited budget, and he could just keep writing checks like, oh, you want to go to the NFL and make $350,000, or you want to make $500,000 here, right? Well, and Eli Lilly and Big Tech and Big Farm, they're all out there in the Indiana area.
So shout out to IU because they got money. Brand new money.
The Yankees did it for years. I mean, the Patriots did it where they were paying all the luxury taxes over the salary. Like they all do the same.
They all do the same thing, and they was able to get there. And I just laughed because often we talked about Indiana football, and I'm like, besides Antoine Randall L., I couldn't tell you anybody else that went there. I didn't even know they were still playing football at the college level. And then this guy shows up, and 2 years later, we had a national championship. But I tell you what, that was the most interesting, exciting situation because with the day before when they had the coaches doing the talk right there, they had to sit side by side and have that. Signetti was I was like, this guy, he don't flinch.
He still hasn't smiled.
He don't
Even
flinch.
when we won,
He gives that little half a smirk, and he's like, well, you know, what do you want to do? I want to go crack a beer. That man, he had me cracking up. But when he said, I win, Google me, I said, wow. But hey, he took a bunch of.
It's a pretty good mic drop.
He took a bunch of 3-star players. Nobody was a 5-star on the squad. Took a bunch of 3-star players and basically recreated the New England Patriots Bill Belichick system, because Belichick would bring people into the system that fit, not necessarily the star factor. If you didn't fit within his system, you were out of there.
Look at you sneaking to Bill Belichick so quickly. That was smooth. I like that. He planned that crap.
That's called a transition.
Yeah, he planned that crap 3 days ago, for sure.
So, but that's exactly what Cignetti did. He brought these guys in. Nobody had a name. Even Mendoza, who grew up literally 2 miles from UM, tried to go there. They didn't want him because, again, he was a no-star, 2-star player. Boom, he winds up at Indiana with the rest of these nobodies, but together they became somebody. So is it the player or is it the system? It all depends, because on paper, UM had more stars, more dominant stars, but it looks like the system beat the dominant stars. So we may have more draft picks coming out of UM this year, but they holding that glass trophy up, baby, saying we're national champions.
I was talking to Rich Rogers about it the other day, and he said that Indiana's football team this year, he watches more college football than probably 90% of everybody we know, and he said that Indiana's football team was the most complete football team that he has seen maybe ever.
Yeah.
And I said, well, you know, you got to talk about the 01 Hurricanes,
yeah, bro,
if you're going to talk about the most complete team.
That was star power.
But that team also, I mean, that was just total domination. That was ridiculous.
Grown men.
And Indiana had that, but they also had some close games, right? I mean, the Penn State game was close.
But that system brought them through. They stuck with the system.
That's why they all say trust the process.
Trust the process, man.
That's their favorite thing to say.
But again, they had to buy in, sacrifice. Guys move positions to make it work for the system. That sounds like the old Patriot way. You know, I mean, they've had stars come through there, like my guy Chad Ochocinco, baby. He came to the Patriots and it just didn't work because he was a individual player that could dominate. It just didn't work in that system. The only time we had one of those guys come through his system and dominate was Randy Moss, because he's Randy Moss. But other than that, all his other receivers had to fit within his system. And it worked. And it worked so much that Bill Belichick's championships, 6 championships, too many other divisional things to count, all of these other wonderful things that he's done over the years, gets shunned by the Hall of Fame. If this man is not a first ballot Hall of Famer, then there should not be a first ballot Hall of Famer for any coach. He's second in wins behind Shula. Most championships, most. Now, people want to talk about, oh man, Deflategate, the video cheating scandal. Let me tell you something. If you ain't cheating, you ain't trying.
I knew you were going there.
And every team does it. Somebody just became a hater and got him caught.
So is that the reasoning that they give?
That's the reasoning that along with the fact that he absolutely sucked to reporters as an interview. So that was their way of getting back at them for not giving them fantastic, colorful interviews.
So if he wasn't such a dick, they would have let him in on the first ballot.
That's what they're saying. So,
okay, all right.
Between the
NFL can do what they want. They're unlimited money and they have fuck you money, so they can say fuck you to anybody.
But that was the writers, man. And again, so I've often said on every sport, how do you have guys that never played the game at this level voting on who's the best? I think you got to have some skin in the game in order to really do, because now what you're telling players and coaches is that your job after the game, no matter how you feel, is to kiss the interviewer's ass. You got to go there and just clean them up, just lick them dry. Because if that doesn't happen, then you're going to get TO'd. Terrell Owens, how was that man not a first ballot Hall of Famer? Oh, because they wanted to change the rules and say antics off the field or antics outside. Really? That man was behind Jerry Rice. Who's better? Nobody. But they skipped him for 2 years. Come on, man. Absolute insanity.
Let me ask you this question.
Absolute insanity.
We're the podcast twins. I'm Drew. That's Vince. Gold and silver aren't just history, they're security. That's why we partner with Miles Franklin.
And if you just call 952-929-7006 or email them at info@milesfranklin.com, tell them that the podcast twins sent you. You'll get preferred pricing and you'll get very well taken care of by them.
Real talk, real value, Miles Franklin. See. Do you think Bill Belichick cares at all?
Oh, he cares. Oh, that hurt him. Oh, it hurt him. It hurt him.
So, like, okay, your punishment for not being good in interviews is you're not getting in right now. But we'll see in a couple years.
Yeah, they're gonna what you just witnessed is the Shedeur Sanders effect. We'll let him get drafted, but we're gonna make him. He thinks too highly of himself. He's too this. He's too that. Okay, we'll humble him by everybody passing him up for 4.5 rounds and finally going in the middle of the 5th round, if I'm not mistaken. It's gonna humble him. This is the only thing they could do in my opinion, to humble a guy like Belichick. But I think he might have been hurt, but he went home and climbed on top of his 23-year-old little young girlfriend and probably made it better for her.
Swimming in a freaking Scrooge McDuck mansion of money. No, but who gives a shit if they let you in the Hall of Fame or not? Like, the guy's got unlimited money, hot 23-year-old girlfriend. Like, what does he care? Why would he care? I don't care prestige. At all, because I don't think he cares.
Power and prestige. And there's not a player coach situation that can honestly look you in the face after a career like that and say they don't care whether they got in. They can't. I mean, because that's what you work for. That's the reward. I mean, after you get out.
He's going to get in.
Yeah, but
so he's got to pay the price for getting caught cheating. Big deal. Wow. So what?
Okay. So,
no, I mean, I'm looking at this. I have no skin in the game. I don't know. But like, if the he's getting in the Hall of Fame anyway, he's taking his penalty because they thought he was an ass. Fine. And then he's going to get in a year or two, just like Terrell Owens, just like you just said Terrell Owens did. So, like, what are we talking about here? Who cares?
Well, I think it puts a stain on it for me. I just think that it might have been a little poetic justice too.
Maybe you're gonna look at the Hall of Fame, and sports fans will look at the Hall of Fame as it's got a blemish on it because of that. But if you're looking at it from the NFL's perspective, is like, look, we caught this guy cheating, we slapped him on the wrist a few times. Here's his real punishment, and that's all they can do to him. Like you said, they have no real control. He's retired. He's gone now. It doesn't matter. So, if you're looking at it from the NFL's perspective, that's the only thing they could do to punish him or humble him at this point.
On paper, the NFL is not the one who
I don't care who does it on paper. We know who's pulling the strings.
I get it. Come on. Listen,
we know who's writing the checks.
I hear you.
Pfizer, everything else.
It boggles my mind that you got a guy with unblinkable accomplishments. This guy has done it all, even from the point of being defensive coordinator for the Giants back in the day when he had Lawrence Taylor. And Lawrence Taylor even came out and was like, what a joke is this? He was still the best defense. He had the best defense in Cleveland when he was there. He had the best defense in the Giants. And then he developed this system, which he then took all the older, washed up guys that the Dolphins got rid of, by the way, and made them into stars out there into the Patriot way. He's had nothing but success going forward. So here's the next question. If that was the NFL's way of punishing him, that's great. So in the next couple of years, when that guy number 12, his quarterback, is ready to go in, does he suffer the same punishment? Because he benefited from the softer ball. He benefited from the videos. So if you're going to punish Belichick for cheating, do you not punish his quarterback for cheating?
I mean, that would assume that there's some sort of fairness or reciprocity to what the NFL does, and that's a wild assumption, right? I mean, there's definitely disparate treatment and selective enforcement in any big organization, especially one like that that's got everything, under a microscope on TV all the time. So
my
I would
question
say
remains,
they probably will not punish Brady.
So he's going to go in as the golden child when
of course he will.
When his uncle daddy coach can't go in as okay.
I mean, I'm not saying it makes sense.
No,
I'm saying that's probably what will happen.
But if that's what happens, I mean, what they're saying is that we're not even trying to hide the fact that we're biased.
Who do they have to hide it from? Everything's out there in plain sight. People don't pay attention.
They're paid goddamn customers that's coming in there spending ridiculous amounts of money every year to come in there and watch this thing.
The NFL is notorious for being absolute douchebags, fixing games, doing all kinds of other bullshit, race baiting, all the other crap that the NFL does. People are still watching it. They're literally bulletproof. They can do whatever they want.
Yeah. It is 100%. It is a drug. It's like they said in the movie Concussion, man. Sundays used to belong to Jesus.
People didn't like it when Kaepernick was kneeling for the national anthem, even if they were like, hey, that's a slight against the military. Whatever their stance was, that they hated that act. They still watched. They didn't stop. Nobody like 5 people total boycotted the NFL.
Yeah,
maybe
nobody
actually boycotted shit.
They took a very small percentage hit. But it was a small, very small percentage.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they're bulletproof. They can do anything they want, piss off anybody they want, and they're still like they have domestic violence issues, they have drug issues, they have steroid, they have all kinds of issues. It doesn't matter. People still watch.
Yeah,
they're bulletproof,
and they pay,
so they can do whatever they want.
Yeah, it's that drug.
So there you go. Curfton just answered all the questions. It's a drug. It's a drug. People are addicts. The NFL's a drug dealer, and they can do whatever they want.
I'm your pusher.
That's right.
Well, I mean, I think it's just going to be
They're the pimps controlling the hose, like you said.
I wasn't even going to go there.
Oh, I'm going.
I wasn't even going to go there. But, it's always a situation of the pimps and hoes. Pimps up, hoes down. But at the end of the day, we're going to wind up seeing it. And somebody on one of the talking head shows was like, well, it's going to be interesting in a couple of years to see what happens with Brady because, of course, Brady got one more championship. He went out there. Then they was like, oh, it was Brady. No, it wasn't. It was the Belichick way, the system that he built that allowed for that success. Period, point blank. Because he had success in other areas.
So is New England winning the Super Bowl against Seattle?
So now that rolls us into the topic.
My last year's Super Bowl prediction did not age well.
So
silver, telling people to buy silver last June, that aged well.
That aged extremely well.
My last year's
Super Bowl, it reached the all-time high on Wednesday.
My last year's Super Bowl prediction, I'm 0 for 1 on this show, a Super Bowl predicting. So you tell me.
So
I'm going to literally make a blind guess because I have no idea who's winning that game.
Okay. Curfton, how you feel about the game? Super Bowl.
Who's favored? Who's favored? What's the spread?
Okay.
Are they favored? They're favored by New England?
Did Vegas put the numbers out yet? I don't think so. I didn't. Maybe they have preliminary numbers.
Curfton, look up the spread, man. What are you doing over there?
So even before it happens, I'm going to say this. Seattle was the only good thing on my fantasy football team is because I had their defense all year. Because y'all know my fantasy football team sucked big donkey
balls.
Yeah. But Seattle was the only shining star I had. So, and they've been consistent.
Emotionally, you want Seattle to win.
But then you add in the Darnold effect. Darnold did the same thing he did this year, last year at Minnesota. But Minnesota was like, we're going to go with the kid we drafted. He's ready to come in and take the reins. But Darnold has finally been on 2 teams that gave him an opportunity to show that he was a worthy first round overall pick. I believe he was first or second, whatever it was, but he was in the top 5 in that draft class. He had all the tools in the world, but he went to the Jets where careers go to die. And
I thought that was the Dolphins.
No.
The Jets is the real
Dolphins
place?
is
All
the
right.
springboard.
Go ahead. What's the spread?
The Dolphins is the springboard to your career. You come to the Dolphins, establish yourself as a decent player. They get rid of you. You jump into stardom.
Or you get so many concussions you can't play anymore.
4.5. Okay. What's the over under? 45. Okay. So before we go there, Hard Rock Bets and all the other sports books, feel free to sponsor our show. We would love to partner with you guys and do special commercials for you. So make sure you reach out to the podcast Twins Curved, and we'll get right back to you. But anyway, the Sam Darnold effect is real. And I think that this kid came in, he's hungry. He's ready to deliver. Their running game is incredible. I think they are the most complete team. Drake May on the other side has proven to be a juggernaut. He is a second-year player that came through, had a solid college career. This kid's going to learn one thing. He's going to learn how to slide because they're going to kill him if he doesn't.
So in other words, like all NFL games, it's going to be decided by who gets more turnovers, as usual.
Well, I'm going to say this, and so now you can think about it this way. The national championship game had the offensive juggernaut, the Indiana Hoosiers, Hoosiers, along with the defensive-minded and ball control-minded Hurricanes. I think we're looking at the exact same thing for the Super Bowl. You have the offensive juggernaut with a solid defense in the Seahawks versus the ball control Patriots. If they can't control the ball and eat up clock, they're going to get run off the field. I think that's the only way they can do it is the same way the Hurricanes kept that game close is by controlling the clock, by controlling the ball. If you get 3 and outs from New England, I think it's going to be washed up by the second quarter. It could if New England cannot control that ball, it's going to be a runaway victory.
So did Vince answer the question of who's winning? Did you answer the question? I feel like you didn't answer the question.
I think I would say Seattle.
You say Seattle too, Curfton, in a runaway?
Would be my. I didn't say a runaway. I
no, Curfton did.
Curfton did say a runaway.
But I think Patriots are the true America's team.
So you think it's fixed? He thinks he doesn't know which side the fix is in on. See our Vegas episode
the Vegas
for
effect.
that one.
Right, that's the Vegas effect. And at that point, we'll have to see. Did DraftKings send you an email? Anyway,
I didn't get an email.
Yeah. So anyway, DraftKings, reach out. But no, seriously, I think that the Seahawks are a very complete team. Their defense is dominant, and they do have the opportunity to control the ball with Kenneth Walker. And they did get one of their backs hurt. Charbonnet, I think he's out for the season. He tore his knee or something the last week of the season, the last week of the playoffs or the week before, whatever. But that's a cog in the wheel. That system, that ball is rolling. So I think that they're going to ride the Darnold effect. I think that his new poise in the pocket as a passer just completely blew away what we knew him to be as when everybody was throwing him away out of the Jets organization. And I think he went to the Panthers too, right? Darnold, when the Jets let him go, he went to the Panthers. So he went from bad to bad. So he never had an opportunity to show what it was. But when he got to Minnesota where they were good, he showed you. And now he came over here where they were good, and he showed you.
Well, as a recovering Dolphins fan, I'm not supposed to root for the Patriots. But I don't want to go 0-2 picking the favorite in the Super Bowl. So I'm taking the underdog.
Okay.
So I'm going to take the Patriots this year. But the only reason is I'm going to flip a coin and say they're going to get one more turnover at the right time, and that's what changes games.
They do, and they do have a decent defense. I'm not going to call them dominant, but they're decent.
you know, I've disliked the Patriots for a long time before I gave up on the Dolphins 20 years ago.
As you should.
And I got to tell you, they just seem to have a knack for getting the right ball at the right time, or
But-
the right call at the right time.
But
or
was
the
that
right
the Belichick
whatever.
effect?
I don't know. We're gonna find out, I guess, right?
man,
Because if they win,
because-
Belichick's not there.
Because they got something that says that the Belichick effect, he sold his soul to the devil many moons ago.
Probably did.
And he turned around and became this. But I think too, Mike Vrabel as the head coach there, he's a Belichick disciple, and he's bringing that same tenacity to the field that he did as a linebacker, which I love about him.
I get it.
Just as ridiculous as he got fired in Tennessee because the owner was like, he's not a nice man in the building. Are you out of your goddamn mind? You hire a vicious linebacker to come and be your head coach, and you want him to come down and have tea and crumpets? What the hell are you doing? You ruined your organization because he wasn't nice to you? Okay, now look at him. First year with the Pats, take him to the Super Bowl. Now that's an effect. That's that Darnold effect for them, but that's that effect that they could have here. So everybody's trying to ride that wave. I just ultimately think that the Seahawks are a better team. And even if they were the underdogs, I think I would still choose the Seahawks.
How about back to college into the pros? Mendoza's the number one pick, I presume.
Mendoza's number one pick.
So does Mendoza make it in the NFL?
Mendoza makes it in the NFL.
He makes it in the NFL.
I think
he's a big, tall quarterback. You like him dropping back, throwing balls.
So again, going back to him coming out of high school, there's, you know, you have the look test, right? You know, did he have the height? Did he have the size? He probably was just a late bloomer that developed into these situations where he probably needed to go to these smaller schools where he can get an opportunity to grow, fill out, develop, and become something. Who he was there, I mean, his passing accuracy, I love it. The kid got good feet. He can run. I loved everything about him. You know, I thought he was a very, very solid QB. I think he's going to be the kind of quarterback that comes into the league and has an opportunity to grow and develop because he can throw the out route. Unlike the other Super Bible thumper that came out of college ranks, you know, 15 years ago, Mr. Tebow, he brought God with him, but God did not give him the ability to throw an out route. This kid can throw the out route, which is the standard. If you can throw an out route, man, you got an opportunity to make it in this league. So I think he has that ability. I think Mendoza becomes the top pick. Problem is he going to go to one of these systems that's going to be groomed to die? Is he going to the Raiders? Is he, you know, what's the situation?
It looks that way. So does Beck make it in the NFL? I had to.
No, I'm going to say this.
I had to.
He's going to get an invite to the combine out of courtesy. They're going to let him come out there and show what he got.
Because he's a Hurricane.
Because he's a Hurricane. You got to the national championship, you know, but I think that he's going to get there. And when they put him to the skills test, I think his stock will slowly decline in the public eye. In my eye, it declined when he was still at Georgia because he was never a solid quarterback for me. He always had a fantastic team around him. He did not have a Josh Allen effect where he could put the team on his back and carry them anywhere. You know, he loves to, I think he might be a little colorblind. He loves to throw the ball to the other team.
Yeah.
So, but do I think he's going to get an opportunity to show up? Yes, he's going to get an opportunity to show up. He'll wind up being Ja'Cory Harris, who wound up going there. They let him come in. They let him be the thrower at the combine. And ultimately,
that was it.
Yeah, he's now, hey, congratulations, Ja'Cory. He's now a firefighter having a great career.
And there you have it.
And killing the firefighter Olympics. So
I'll bet it.
Yeah, he is destroying the firefighter Olympics.
Freakish athlete.
Yeah, insane.
For sure.
So, but that's what I think he's going to wind up doing. Where you had guys like Jay Cutler, who was not on anybody's NFL radar, but he went, you know, coming out of Vanderbilt, he went to the combine and he was just a freak. That arm, he could throw the ball anywhere all over the field. It didn't make him a good quarterback, but it got him drafted and gave him a solid career because he wound up going out there and having Brandon Marshall to throw the ball to and all these other things. He loved throwing the ball to the other team too.
$1 million arm and a 10-cent head.
I'm trying to tell you. So, but that went to, he made a career out of it because he had the physical talents. I think Beck's physical talents, in my opinion, average arm. He's got, I think, he's 6'1", 6'2". He's decent height, but he has no feet. He can't run. Scramble abilities, are subpar, and decision making is not the best. So I think that's his film is going to hurt him as much as his combine skills will. But hey, if he gets an opportunity, man, I want everybody to make the best. But hey, I hope he didn't spend his bonus money that he got coming to UM at just to protect yourself. But no, I don't think
maybe he bought silver.
Hey, he had $4 million. I hope he did something good.
A little bit of silver would have been good, right? I mean,
especially at this point,
400%.
So, insane, all-time high. But yeah, man. So I think the Super Bowl is going to be a solid game. I'm hoping to be thoroughly entertained. Over under again was what,
44 and a half.
44 and a half. So 45 points. I'm going to say over.
I'm taking the Patriots in the under.
Give me
my 4.5 points, and I'm taking the under. Let's go.
The only way they can win is if they keep it under.
There's no way I get the parlay.
So I'm going Seattle
0%
and
chance.
over. I'm going Seattle.
I'll get one or the other, but I won't get them both.
Man, y'all know I am the worst gambler in the world, so I would probably put my $1 up.
I would say bet against us unless we're talking about, like what to invest in, bet against us, right? Because we don't know when the fix is. We don't know which side the fix is.
That's the only problem. We don't have the hookup on the fix, but hopefully by the time we get these contracts with these gambling apps, we'll get more insight.
Somebody should give us some information.
Something, that's just what I think should be happening right now, man. But
what did we miss, Vince? What else?
Oh man, well, we did the Carnival Keto wrap up.
Football.
We did. Well, I want to send a shout out to my Bears because here's another opportunity to do one more little quick football story. First of all, we beat Green Bay twice. Anyway, so I just want to throw that part out there. But what you got to see here is a very adequate team with a dominant quarterback that can put the team on his back and go somewhere. So this is the exact opposite of the Hurricanes. You had a dominant team with a quarterback that could not carry them across the street, where you had a very average team that had a dominant quarterback that knew how to turn it on.
You know what my favorite thing about the Bears is?
That we beat the Packers twice.
That Saturday Night Live skit where the super fans, and they ask him, do you think it ever rains on Ditka? And he goes, nope. He would just look up at God and say, not today.
Not today. The Bears. Hey man, listen, we haven't won the Super Bowl in 40 years.
1985. The Super Bowl
Bears,
shuffle.
Where it happened. We are the Bears, shuffling crews, shuffling. I know the song, but I'm not going to entertain you with
He's going to do the dance.
We're
going to get Vince. Once we get 10,000 subscribers, Vince is going to do the dance.
I'll do the whole song, word for word.
10,000 subscribers, Vince is doing the Super Bowl shuffle.
I'm doing it. But I just thought this was good because, you got the two heads here. And so you got literally a mirror image of each other just flipped. Because great team, bad quarterback. Bad team, great quarterback. And, I think if the Bears had been healthy a little bit earlier going into it, they could have done more. It's just offensively, we didn't have the juggernauts. I think that we had adequate players.
If Beck grew 4 inches taller and he was 6'6", and he didn't have all those tipped passes that you were talking about earlier, do you think he could be an NFL quarterback then? If we gave him 4 inches extra of height so he could throw over those 7-foot tall linemen with 2-foot long arms?
If my aunt had a dick, she'd be my uncle.
Is that the way that works?
That's the way that works.
All right, that's the way that works.
So
okay.
If he's 38 years old because he's been in college 12 years, he ain't growing no more.
The answer is no, by the way.
Yeah.
The answer is no.
He ain't growing no more. Those slanty eyes, those little sad-looking eyes, probably is why he can't see the other colors.
High eyes.
Hey, that's what I was trying to say.
High eyes.
You know, yeah. So anyway, no, I just don't think he's that personally, and that's my personal thing. And even being a season ticket holder and going to every home game, you know, people was like, "Man, you're too hard on him." I'm like, "Am I? Am I really? Let's watch him and see." He hands the ball off beautifully. Looks great handing the ball off, and the little chuck down passes right here because everybody can do that. So if that's the only game, he's NFL ready. But when he's got to take control of the game when there's pressure on his back, I don't think we watched him accomplish that goal. Forget the 4 turnover games. We're just talking about general. So that last pass, of course, the receiver's going to say it was my fault, this, that, and other. But as a quarterback, and here's you're on a game-winning drive. As a quarterback, even if the route was designed to go inside, which it should not have, because we didn't have any you had a safety rolling over the top. You shouldn't call a pass that's running inside with a safety rolling over the top. So at anything, he should have thrown the ball to the pylon, to the back of the end zone, where only his guy could either make the catch or it's incomplete. We live to fight another play. But when you loft the ball to the middle of that corner where you had the cornerback underneath and the safety rolling over the top, either one of those guys had a better shot than our receiver.
Well, let's go back to your other question. Is it how much of it is coaching then, right? Because if that play's getting called, that's Cristobal's fault.
But he threw the ball. No,
okay. I'm not saying he didn't throw the ball. I'm just your other question was like, how much is the coach and how much is the player with Belichick and Brady, right?
Yeah.
So same question here. And I know you're, let's say, lukewarm on Cristobal. Sometimes you love him. Sometimes you're like,
he's definitely improved his play calling strategy, which basically means he upgraded.
So did Cignetti outcoach him?
I
stumped him.
Well, I will say this: Cignetti coached his team to get the best out of those players. They did not make mistakes.
All right.
The Hurricanes made mistakes, and I think the mistakes were not the play calls. I think the mistakes was the passing. So again, you're running a drag across the middle of the field. You got to lay them out here because it's not like you're saving them from getting clocked from this linebacker. You just threw the ball back over his shoulder, which caused the ball to be tipped, and it was like 5 of those, if not 6, I think it was. But the ball just felt like it was floating in the air forever. The play calling wasn't bad. I don't think it was bad. I think he missed some throws.
All right.
He missed some very key throws, and of course that last one just was staring out like a pimple on your forehead because
it ended the game.
It ended the game. But how do you not see the safety didn't even pretend? He saw that guy streaking. He started rolling right away. As a quarterback, I know he was staring him down, but my God, at least peek in the middle of the field. And when he let that ball go, you can feel people at home go because it was no way. It didn't have enough juice on it to get to the corner of the end zone, which it should have been, or at least to the front pylon. And man, the kid, but I think it was also some poetic justice too. I think that kid that made the interception was also from Miami, and his uncle played in that game against Ohio State.
Oh my God.
Where we got robbed. So,
yes.
Yeah, and I can't remember, was he a Hurricane or was he Ohio State?
McGahee game.
But I can't remember, again, I don't know if you can find that, Kurt, where the cornerback who made the interception, his uncle played in that game. Was he a Hurricane or was he Ohio State? I can't remember.
Okay.
But he was the guy who made the game ending interception. Had a connection to that Ohio State Hurricane game, which still hurts.
Yeah.
All these years later.
That was a rough one.
And so
the fix was definitely in that day.
No doubt, plenty of fixes. Listen, man.
I wish I would have known before the game started. I could have made money like all the other people.
We saw some lack of pass interference calls this past weekend that was mind-boggling. One guy scrape him here, the other guy pushes him out of bounds before the ball gets there, and then the referee that's in the booth was like, they would have to try to figure out whether it was a catchable ball. The man was tiptoeing the line so he can catch the ball Come on, man.
He got pushed out of bounds.
Again, the Vegas effect is real.
Gosh.
We just want to be on the other side of it. So if one of you sports bets can reach out to
Just
us.
tell
And,
us. Yeah, just
you
tell
know,
us which side to bet
and we
once in a while.
We will make beautiful commercials for you.
Modest bets. And we're not looking to get rich.
We're not
just
trying to
little
get,
baby
just
bets.
a little something.
We're not
make,
looking to
make a car payment or two.
Yeah, something like that.
Well, I tell you what, man, this was a hell of an episode, brother. This was a hell of an episode. We came, we saw, we got Drew to talk sports passionately.
I'm good with that.
Let's give him a round of applause. We gave Drew got an opportunity to talk sports with passion.
Listen, man, I hung in with the Michigan coach with Moore. I mean, I'm hanging in there with you, Bubba.
Was that a sports conversation or was that
it got the views? It got the views of the sports conversation.
It sure did.
So
but I think it was more of a dirty conversation.
I don't know about that. I don't know anything about that.
Hey man, well he does. Out there. That's how you go from the top of the mountain to the depths of hell in the stroke. I mean, yeah. Either way,
things have gone awry.
Hey man, blame it on espresso, baby. Blame it on espresso.
Okay.
Anyway, man, great episode. I tell y'all guys what, if you guys want us to discuss a specific topic, leave it in the comments. You want to hear from a different person that we might have access to, leave it in the comments, man. We'll see if we can work that out for you.
We got a couple people coming on from the PGA show that I met to talk about their healthy protein alternatives on the golf course. And, we got the health side down, man. We got a few really interesting guests
because we do physical health, mental health, financial health. We just want to make sure you're healthy, so that's what it is. And so we got all these people that got all these great results. And hopefully by the end of the following month,
I think we're up to 33 people that are doing this thing with us.
We will have more at least current results moving forward. So those that want to share, we will do that. Have them in our group. But yeah, we're getting a lot of positive feedback. I definitely got there. We covered his muscles up because we didn't want to unveil him. We put some muscle on this guy this month. And
I've missed about 6 days out of the 29. Just to be honest, I got that really bad cold after the show, and I was down for a few days. But I'm doing pretty good, man. My eating's been on point. Meat with a side of meat. I
feel good. I'm strong. I'm over that soreness now, so now the workouts are really starting to be good and
very nice.
Shaping up. And my barometer is my work pants. So when I get to work and I put those on, I'm like, oh, that feels great. So I don't really care as much about what the scale says as I do about how the clothes fit and how comfortable they are. And so listen, it's a beautiful thing, and especially if you're one of us type people that's becoming a person of a certain age, you want to make sure that you are taking care of this health because being strong is, I think they say leg strength is the number one marker for longer health. Because if you can't walk, you can't socialize. If you can't socialize, you die. And the flip side to it is if your legs aren't strong, you're more than likely to fall and break a hip, which is the number one marker for death among senior citizens. So, because you break the hip, you can't walk, you can't socialize, you die. So hey, let's be strong, let's be fit, let's be lean, let's have a good time. I'm definitely trying to bring that dude back.
So it's simple. Move your body, eat some steak, and catch us next week on Podcast Twins.
Just like that, man. Hey, don't forget to subscribe. Share this with all your friends out there. Thanks for you guys who already been doing it, man.
Podcast Twins are out till next week.
Peace.